For me, I had all of these tips before college. Like I was ready. Everyone makes videos about before college and what to bring and all that, but no one warned me about post-graduation. And that is what we're gonna be talking about in today's video. Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. So right now we are in the middle of a college series. I'm gonna have the college playlist down below if you guys wanna check it out. We cover topics like what to bring to college, what not to bring to college, what I wish someone would have told me beforehand, just a generic college Q&A, and then what nobody tells you about after college. So I wrote down some things last night about like what I kind of wish someone would have told me about after graduation and things that I learned. Hopefully they're helpful to you because I don't really think people really prepare you for that. To give you guys a quick summary of my college experience, basically my junior year I got an internship with a fashion corporation, so I did that the summer of my junior year, and then my senior year they hired me on part-time, so I was going to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I had my internship Tuesday, Thursday, and then right after college they actually just hired me straight on. So I was really lucky. I didn't really have to search for jobs. I just kind of got my job through my internship, which was amazing, and I would definitely recommend trying to do that if you guys have not already. But I'm assuming you guys are just about to graduate or you already have graduated. The number one thing is I would definitely recommend not waiting 6 months to a year before getting a job. I know a lot of people who they didn't apply for a job until about like 6 months after graduation because they wanted to take a break, which is cool and all if that's what you want to do, but it made it really difficult for people to get jobs because like your employer's realizing that like you took a really long break and they're like, what happened here? Like, you know, whatever. And also it's harder to get a job in like August and September. Like if you want to get a job, I would honestly recommend applying in December or January for a job in May. You're applying while you're still in college, and then right as you graduate you can start like maybe 2 weeks after, because it's a lot easier. Like the job market knows that people are graduating right around May, so they're kind of looking for it. But if you are applying in like August and September, that job might already be taken. A big thing that I wish I would have been told is negotiate. Like I said, I had my internship, they hired me on part-time, and then when they hired me on like full-time, I didn't negotiate. And so basically, not that I feel like I got taken advantage of, but they definitely undercut me by like $10,000 a year. So I wish I would have negotiated, because here's my thing, is I think a lot of teachers and a lot of professors are gonna tell you, take whatever you can get. I don't believe in that, because if I would have negotiated, maybe I wouldn't have gotten $10,000 more, but I definitely could have gotten $7,000 more, because after like 3 months of being there, people were talking about prices, like, and how much they made and salaries and all that, and I realized I was actually $15,000 under what I probably should have been getting paid.
Future Courtney here. So I just want to pop in really quick because I do not like the wording in this next clip. Wanted to clarify some things really quick. First of all, the reason why I went to my boss for my pay, especially being so new as a full-time employee, was because I felt very comfortable with my boss. I actually had 2 bosses and they were amazing. They always encouraged open communication, even if it's as stupid as like, hey, I don't like my chair, it's not comfy, something like that. They always wanted me to be open and honest with them about everything, and that's why I felt really comfortable going to them and just being like, hey, I don't think this is right. I know that might come across wrong, but that was why I felt very comfortable talking to them about things. The other thing is I said a line like, hey, I went to, like, I said, like, I went to my boss and I said, you hired on this other intern that makes way more than me, whatever. It's not her. Like, I want to make that very clear. It has nothing to do with my boss. That's more of like a company issue, and I'm really upset that I kept saying like, you, and I am really upset with the wording of that because it was not her fault. She does not negotiate pay whatsoever. Yeah, I was just reading that back and it makes it sound like my boss controls people's pay. Absolutely not. So I just want that to be very clear. It wasn't like my boss. It was more of like a company issue. I just thought I would chime in here because I really just don't like the way that this next clip is worded.
But I was told I was fresh out of college. So, and I did end up going to my boss at one point and I was like, hey, I know I'm not supposed to know this, but like, you hired on the other intern at like $40,000 a year, and they actually ended up giving me a raise. And then I actually went back to them 3 months later, which I know some people would say like, don't do that, like whatever, because you're new, right? But if you're getting paid well below what the job market is paying, you're okay, you're allowed to mention that, you know what I mean? Like, you're allowed to go to your boss and say like, hey, I should be getting paid like $10,000 more than what I am getting paid. So you're allowed to tell them that. And I know so many people are gonna say like, well, you were fresh out of college, like whatever. No, if you have the skills, here's my thing is I also have this written down. Fresh out of college and inexperienced, I personally think that they're two different things. People were using the excuse like, well, you were fresh out of college. It's like, yes, but I had experience. And when you hire on one intern at this price and you hire me $10,000 less, there's an issue there. So negotiate, negotiate, negotiate. And don't be afraid that, like, I was so afraid to negotiate because I thought they were gonna pull their, what's it called? When I'm like blanking, an offer, yes. They're not gonna pull the offer from you. And I was so scared that if I like negotiated or if I asked for anything more that they were gonna pull the offer. Don't buy into the lie that you have to be at a job for 2 years. That is a good thing, like absolutely, like if you wanna stay at a job for 2 years, absolutely stay at a job for 2 years. But I was always told that whatever job you get, you have to be there for 2 years. I'm super grateful for the opportunity, but I ended up leaving, I think, I wanna say, a little under a year. So I guess I'd worked for the company for a total of 2 years, but that includes my internship, that includes working part-time for them, and that includes my full-time. So it was a total of 2 years, but full-time I only worked with them for maybe like 9 or 10 months. Just because I wasn't getting paid what I felt like I deserved. I was working really long hours and they were having me do things way above what my job description was. Like I was doing video editing and all this stuff, like that wasn't my job. And so like that's great because I was able to like get all that experience, but at the end of the day, like if honestly I would still probably be with that company today if I was getting compensated for the work that I was doing. Long story short, I don't want this to come across as like I'm knocking them at all. I'm so grateful for that opportunity, but do not feel like you have to stay at a place for 2 years. If you're miserable, leave. I have my notes here and I literally wrote, you're allowed to switch careers. Like just because you have a major in something, like let's say I have a major in management or I have a major in marketing, you're allowed to do other things. If you go into the marketing field, like I said, like, you know, I went into corporate and I realized that really just wasn't the thing for me. And now I'm in YouTube, you know what I mean? So you're allowed to switch. Also, if you go and you start off as an accountant or whatever, or marketing, whatever you wanna do, and that was your degree, if you realize like 6 months in that that's just like not the career for you and you really, really, really hate it, don't panic. Apply for other jobs outside. Like I know so many public relations majors who now do, you know, they're a realtor or they work for apartment management. Also, there's a website called Indeed.com and you can like look up all different kinds of jobs on there. I would definitely recommend, even if you have a job, just always kind of keeping your eye on Indeed. She's gonna be like my hype woman right now. That was something I did. Like actually it was funny because my first job, while I would be sitting at my desk and then I would get up to go to the bathroom and you could see Indeed on everyone's computer. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. Like, I don't know, because you never know. Your dream job might pop up on Indeed. You might apply and you might get hired for, who knows, maybe $10,000 more than what you were making before. Another thing is make sure you either like wipe any like inappropriate photos from your social media or
wipe them clean.
Or yeah, just make sure you have a clean social media because that stuff
even your Twitter and your Tinder.
Well, it's just like that stuff could come back to haunt you one day and you never want to be fired because you tweeted something in 2001. I don't even know if Twitter was even around in 2001, but like you never want to be, you just don't want it. Like if you ever made an inappropriate joke or something that could be considered racist or whatever, like everyone has probably done it at some point, erase it. Like literally, yeah. Wipe it, because you never want something from your past to hurt you. Constantly be updating your LinkedIn. I think so many times, like as like a post grad, I think when you have your first job, you just think like, oh, I'm gonna be here forever or whatever. Like you always kind of think that, but no, constantly be updating your LinkedIn and constantly be networking through LinkedIn and like adding like people and connecting with people and networking with people and going out to coffee with people. Just because you have that job doesn't mean you shouldn't be looking for other jobs. I don't know, like I think, yeah, keeping your options open always. After graduation, you need to be so intentional with your friends because everyone moves away. So like when you're in college, everyone's like super close-knit and everyone's like great because like they're your roommates and you live with them and you get to hang out with them. But once you move out of that house, everyone's going their separate ways. My senior year, I lived with Andrea, Sammy, and Steph, and it is so hard to like keep in contact with them because we all are in different places. We're all in different states. They were the most amazing roommates ever, and I can't even tell you the last time. I think the last person I talked to, I think it was Sammy on her birthday. I wished her a happy birthday. But if you want to be friends with people from college, you're going to have to be a lot more intentional. Student loans are going to suck, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There is like this reality, you know, it does come that you do have to pay off your student loans. My interest actually right now on my student loans, I do not have them paid off, and it's actually really high. So I would recommend, honestly, you can get them consolidated if you want, but yeah, I wish someone would have told me post-graduation that I could get them consolidated. I didn't do that until I moved to LA. But which basically what that means is like you get your interest lowered and your payments get lowered as well. And the very last thing that I wish someone would have told me is like post-graduation is supposed to be exciting. You're supposed to figure out who you are, what job you want to do, what industry you want to go into. Like you do not need to have it all figured out. It's just supposed to be exciting, and you know, you're coming out of college a completely new person, and now you're going into a world where now you're an adult. You know, in college, like I feel like, I don't know, I didn't feel like an adult in college. I still kind of felt, I don't know, I just felt like a college student. I didn't feel like an adult, and now that I've graduated, I feel old. I'm officially an adult, which is crazy. But no, this is exciting. Like your 20s are supposed to be exciting, so just enjoy it, don't stress. Yeah, so those are the things I wish someone would have told me after graduation. So if you guys enjoyed, make sure to go ahead, hit this little subscribe button. I'm gonna have my college playlist over here, and then I'm also gonna have my most recent over here. If I missed anything, leave it down below, all you little graduates. Comment it down below, help each other out. I would love the comments to just be filled with positive advice. I love you guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.